You've been there. You're an hour into a movie that is objectively painfully terrible. The plot is a mess, the acting is wooden, every instinct is screaming, turn it off. But you check the progress bar. Well, I'm already an hour in, you think. I might as well see how it ends. So you sacrifice another 90 minutes of your life to a cinematic black hole. Or maybe it's a project at work. It was a brilliant idea 3 months ago. Now it's over budget, behind schedule, and the goalposts have moved a dozen times. Everyone knows it's a zombie, but you've invested so much time, so much energy, so much political capital. Quitting now would feel like a massive public failure, so you keep pouring resources into the pit. What if I told you that the force compelling you to finish that terrible movie or salvage that failing project is a powerful brain bug, a cognitive glitch that makes you value the past more than the future, turning smart people into captains who willingly go down with the sinking ship? Today on Brainful Bites, we're exposing the sunk cost effect, the psychological trap that makes your brain hate quitting. And we're giving you the shocking money pit secret to always know when to walk away and reallocate your resources to what actually matters. Let's get right to it. The sunk cost effect, also known as escalation of commitment and popularly nicknamed the Concord fallacy, is our tendency to keep investing time, money, or effort into a losing venture simply because we've already invested resources we can't get back. Those past investments are sunk costs. They're gone, irrecoverable. Yet our brain treats them like an anchor, chaining future choices to past spend. Instead of asking, what's the best move from right now, we get pulled into justifying previous decisions. That pull is the money pit. 2 quick everyday examples. The gym membership you never use, but you keep paying because I already paid for the year. The dinner you're too full to finish, but you force it down because I can't waste food I paid for. Notice the pattern. The past price hijacks the present decision. So why does our brain do this? It's not one thing. It's a cocktail of powerful forces working together. Loss aversion and waste aversion. The pain of a loss hits about twice as hard as the pleasure of an equal gain. Quitting makes the loss real. Continuing keeps maybe it'll pay off a little longer. We'll often take worse odds to avoid stamping waste on our past effort. Self-justification and cognitive dissonance. When we're responsible for the original decision, walking away feels like admitting we were wrong. In Barry Stau's classic 1976 research, Knee-Deep in the Big Muddy, people escalated commitment to failing courses of action, especially when they had made the initial call. The mind protects the ego by doubling down. Anticipated regret and face saving. We imagine the horror. What if I quit right before it turned around? Or we fear how quitting will look, so we persist, not because the future is bright, but because stopping now stings. Add a couple of sidekicks. Consistency pressure. We want to be the kind of person who finishes what they start. Goal gradient effects. Once we've started, momentum itself nudges us to keep going, even when the target moved. The evidence is everywhere. In a landmark 1985 study, Hal Arks and Catherine Bloomer showed that people who paid more for season theater tickets attended more shows, regardless of actual enjoyment. The higher the sunk cost, the stronger the pull to get my money's worth. That's not forward-looking, that's past-anchored. And it's not just a human ego trip. A 2018 science paper by Swayze and colleagues found that mice, rats, and humans all became less likely to quit the longer they had already waited for a reward, even when quitting would have been smarter. Sunk cost sensitivity shows up across species once we've committed and started waiting. Now, a crucial caveat. Persistence isn't the enemy. Blind persistence is. Sometimes continuing is rational, when expected future value actually beats your alternatives. Don't confuse. Sunk costs. Irrecoverable past spend. Money already paid, time already gone. Future relevant costs and benefits. Switching costs, new evidence, learning gained, option value, reputational or contractual constraints. A simple test. If a cost changes no matter what you do next, it's sunk. If a cost or benefit will differ depending on your choice, it's relevant. Example, You paid non-refundable $200 for a flight. Feeling sick the day of, you debate going. The $200 is sunk. The relevant question is, do you value being there, plus the cost to your health, more than staying home? Your team already spent $500,000 building feature X. To finish, it'll take $200,000 more and 3 months.
The $500,000 is sunk. The decision should compare the expected return from spending the next $200,000 and 3 months on feature X versus the best alternative use of that same budget and time. Bottom line, the best decision is always the one that maximizes future value from here, regardless of what it took to get here. All right, the science is clear. Your brain is wired to stick with losers. So how do you fight back? How do you become a master of strategic quitting so you can redeploy faster to winners? Here's your toolkit for beating the sunk cost effect. 5 concrete strategies plus a 1-minute money pit check you can use today. Run the forward-looking test, your single most powerful weapon. Ask, knowing what I know now, if I hadn't invested anything yet, would I start or continue this today? If no, exit. Treat the past like tuition for a lesson learned. Make it tangible. Write the question on a sticky note and slap it on your monitor. In meetings, make someone read it out loud before any continue or kill decision. Pro tip, pair it with the best alternative check. What's the highest value thing I could do with these same next resources? If the alternative dominates, switch. Pre-commit to kill criteria and dates. Turn a future emotional decision into a current rational one. Before starting, define measurable thresholds that must be hit, e.g., DAUs greater than or equal to 1,000 by month 6, or CAC less than or equal to $50 for 2 consecutive months. Write them down, put a calendar review on the exact date you'll decide. Decide the decider. Who will enforce the criteria if missed? This converts "should we keep going" into "did we meet the rules we agreed to when we were calm?" Separate decision rights and redesign dashboards. If you greenlit it, you're biased to keep it alive. So, assign termination authority to someone uninvolved in the original approval, a different manager, a review board, or a trusted peer. Redesign status reports to foreground forward-looking metrics, expected future value, probability of success, remaining cost to finish, opportunity cost of continuing, not total spent to date. A simple frame for every update. From here, the next X dollars and Y weeks are expected to produce Z value versus the next best alternative, which is expected to produce Z plus. Make the trade-off painfully obvious. Use staged funding and time-boxed experiments. Prevent slow, expensive bleedouts. Break big bets into small, hypothesis-driven sprints. Each stage gets just enough time and budget to test the next riskiest assumption. Only unlock the next tranche if new evidence improves the forward-looking case. Example, in 4 weeks with $10,000, we will test, will 5% of signups activate in 24 hours with onboarding V2? If yes, proceed. If no, pivot or kill. Adopt personal rules of thumb, daily life guardrails. Create simple policies that short-circuit the bias. The 2-meeting rule. If a problem or initiative shows no meaningful movement after 2 focused sessions, cancel it or radically change approach. The 100-page rule. If a book hasn't earned your attention by page 100, stop. Your future reading time is scarce. Quarterly subscription sweep. Once every 3 months, list all prepaid subscriptions. For each, run the forward-looking test. Would I buy this today? If not, cancel. Bonus for calendars. The exit ramp event. When you schedule a recurring meeting, schedule a quarterly keep or kill review right then. Your 1-minute money pit check. Use this anytime you feel that, but I've already put so much in, tug. Would I start this today? Yes or no? What new evidence has changed the forward-looking case in the last 30 days? Be specific. What's my best alternative use of the next chunk of time, money, or attention? If you wouldn't start it, there's no new improving evidence, and your alternative beats it, walk away. Common pitfalls to watch out for. Quitting too fast and calling it rational. Persistence is good when the forward-looking expected value is genuinely higher than your alternatives. Don't use sunk cost as an excuse to avoid the discomfort of the hard middle. Mislabeling switching costs as sunk costs. Migrating off a tool next month might be painful and relevant. Account for that. Just don't drag in last year's bill as a reason to stay. Identity traps. "I'm not a quitter" is a great identity until it chains you to low-yield decisions. Upgrade it to "I'm an optimizer. I finish winners and free resources from losers." Let's put this all together. That feeling of "I've already put so much in" is not a signal to continue. It's a red flag. It's your brain's sunk cost alarm telling you you're about to make a decision based on the past instead of the future. Your job is to ignore the rearview mirror. The money is spent. The time is gone.
The only thing that matters now is the road ahead. The best decision is the one that maximizes your future value, even if it means admitting a past investment was a mistake. That's not failure. That's disciplined, forward-looking leadership. Your challenge for this week: find one thing, a project, a subscription, a class, a commitment you're continuing out of sunk cost. Run the money pit check. If the answer is no, I wouldn't start today, and your best alternative is better, take one concrete step to quit in the next 24 hours. Cancel the subscription, archive the project, send the "we're stopping" email. Free that time and money for something better. What's the biggest money pit you've ever been stuck in? And which tool are you going to try first? Drop your story in the comments. Your experience might be the wake-up call someone else needs. If this episode helped you reclaim your future from your past, share it with a friend who's stuck in a project that needs to end. And tell us what other biases or brain bugs are quietly draining your productivity. Until next time, keep your brain hungry and know when to walk away.